What's the difference between lust and love? We get them confused. What are your turn-ons? What are your turn-offs? Do you know what really gets you hot under the collar, baby? Are you always dating the person that frankly sucks in bed? Are you and your mate not mating anymore? Do you even know what turns you on? I have that answer. With a date of birth, I can tell you anything. We call it Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. Find out your birthday secrets today, available online at secretsofbirthdays.com.
Soul Garden.
Namaste and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Rayman Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your karmic story together. And I have a really happy announcement this week, introducing Zen Shoemaker. She's got her own show called Dear Zen that airs on SG YouTube on Thursdays and on the Mothership. You can write her for practical advice at dearzen@soulgarden.tv. She's funny, she's wise, and she's a psychic coach. You can also be on her show if you want on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern, but check her out at the Mothership and check her out at soulmart.me. We love Zen. She's fabulous. Now, moving into the sun, we're wrapping up the sun in Libra. We're going to go from step 27 to step 29 this week, and then we dive fast into Scorpio with our first breakdown by Sunday. It's going to affect emotional relationships and boundaries, and we have a quantum shift coming on November 3rd. More on that later. The moon begins this week in stable Taurus, then shifts into jumpy Gemini, and then it has a little turbulence as it moves into Cancer because we hop over Black Lilith and Jupiter, but we do end the week in lovely Leo. The moon signs most affected are Taurus moons, Gemini moons, Cancer moons, and Leo moons, and the moons that might go into the dark side are Scorpios, Sag moons, Capricorns, and Aquarius moons. Now, looking at our orbits, man. The moon was in the root chakra, remember, in Aries for that big full moon, and this week it moves through the solar plexus all the way up to the heart. So a lot of digestion issues for a lot of people on Earth. The other planet I want to point out is the Earth itself, which is in the root chakra. Now the Earth is what we are manifesting now. So we've been manifesting a new ego as the sun's been in Libra. But as the sun moves into Scorpio, we'll be manifesting manifestation. That's because the Earth will move to its home chakra, the orange chakra, and that means manifestation will be at a pure point. So the point is we actually manifest more when the sun's in Scorpio than we do when the sun is in Taurus for that reason. Now, looking at the planets, the aspect that most affects us, I think, is this opposition. This is literally ego versus God, and it's an intense transit this week. This might be kind of looked at as the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. Literally, we are tug and pull between the needs of our ego, which is where we're most disconnected, and Neptune, which is where we can be most disconnected or connected. Neptune's just like a modem that logs into anything. So in your horoscopes, I'll be talking about how that opposition affects you. Plus, this square between Pluto and Uranus has reached a massive head. Both planets are at 9 degrees. 9 is an aggressive degree. After all, it's trying to get to 10, right? And this is a fear coming up in your life, probably a long-running fear, and I'll be talking about this fear as well upstairs in your horoscope. And getting a closer look at some planets. Like I said, the moon this week, when it zips through jumpy Gemini, then moves into Cancer and will, boom, bounce off of Black Lilith and Jupiter. That's going to be an emotional kind of moment, if you say, and we'll talk about that on your horoscope as well. So let's get right to it. Let's take the ascension elevator up. Let's go to the 33rd floor at 33,000 feet and get a bird's eye view of you.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Hello, my captains and Capricorn risings, and welcome to 33,000 feet for a bird's eye view of you. Well, you are in your annual career transit, and career is usually what you do best, but this year I think it has been a bit more of a stumbling block. That's because of the nature of how things are getting more fair now. The universe is pushing towards fairness and justice, and some Capricorns have been playing the old game or trying to avoid the old game or whatever, and part of it is that you're also trying to be someone different in the world. So it's been a difficult career transit. However, that's going to change now. I'm happy to say that I think things are going to move forward. I think you're going to be making decisions and seeing career and legacy move forward, because really the drama is not career. The drama, if there is any, is where you end up in the world. What is your belonging? Where does the Capricorn belong? Now, looking at what I had said in the open, with the opposition of Mars moving into Virgo and opposing Neptune in Pisces, right? This opposition is going to create a lot of tension. It's a tension cord. And on the one hand, it's you moving forward with what you believe. So it's your life purpose now clicking into gear. It's going to make you very detail obsessive. It's going to make you fact-finding. It's going to make you perhaps second guess or either jump without doing a background check, or maybe obsessing on background checks. On the flip side, you have to relax in your mind with Neptune. You have to be self-nurturing in your thoughts. You have to be compassionate in your thinking. So you must walk with a compassionate mind, but be diligent about the details. And the details you avoid are the ones your heart doesn't care about. It's that simple, all right? Now, another thing, the square between Pluto in your sign and Uranus in Aries. This square is the tug-of-war between strength and feeling grounded and feeling secure and feeling nurtured. And the truth is you have to nurture yourself independently of getting stronger. The two do not necessarily happen in the same moment. And of course you need to be strong to be there, So you'll be working out fears between moving, you're afraid of moving forward and how it will affect your emotional security. And the truth is you're going to have to be there for yourself on that moment, right? All right. So we're moving into the fun part, leadership, where you are the captain of the ship, where you are creating the campaign, where you are in charge of the direction of where things are going, where you get to steer. And this is the fun part, and this is the final cherry on the Sunday of your career transit. And like I said, because the square is broken, we're moving forward, the grand square. Now the sun will go from step 27, which is making an act and taking action on your career, to being tested on whether or not you did the right thing on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it's about social, friendship, belonging, and reputation from that point on, with a potential social faux pas that weekend on Sunday, a breakdown. Now, in the state of Scorpio, in the state of society, you're going to have a quantum breakthrough this transit. We have a solar eclipse happening in 2 weeks. Saturn's at step 13, so there will be some sort of social breakdown just in time for Mercury to retrograde and for you to think about it for 3 solid weeks. So the universe has Capricorns really thinking about where their heart truly belongs. And honestly, at this point, career holdup is that you simply have not finalized where you want to land in the world and in your belonging, and whether or not your heart is included, with Taurus on the other side. So these are the big questions for the Capricorn race when it comes to where they belong. Now, in the state of Cancer, this is the state of marriage and partnerships, you are now moving to the idea of union on a new level. And this is passion, this is going with your emotions, this is leaving logic at the door, which Capricorns and Capricorn risings don't like to do. You're going to have to just play it as you feel it and trust your own passion and feelings when it comes to people and relationships. Black Lilith says that you must approach relationships as if you've never had a bad one. So you've got to give yourself complete credit moving forward, I think, to pull it off in marriage and partnerships. Right? That was state of Cancer, absolutely. So, moving here, let's see here. Okay, just playing with buttons. Moving here into the week, Jupiter is holding space. Whoops, is that the right thing? Yeah, that was last week, actually, our full moon. Here we go. And that's the following week. I'm all over the map. Here we are. Sorry about that, folks. Live television, what are you going to do? This is the week. So for Jupiter for the entire week, at least I know my degrees by the time I've shot all these, Capricorn. By the time Jupiter hits this, emotions are solid when it comes to marriage and partnership. And so for all week, you're going to have to just kind of play it as you feel it. Saturn in Scorpio is the story where you are redefining yourself in society. And the thing about it is you're going to have some sort of a breakthrough where what you have been will fail you, but you'll probably also have a silver lining that represents or shows something you could do. So the universe usually gives an alternative right at the moment of breakdown, and that is the potential for breakthrough. Your mind will be Mercury retrograded through the whole week, which means you'll be rethinking social belonging, and that is from the campaign down. So it could be something public that fails that brings you down. Now Uranus, retrograde at 9 degrees, is that having to constantly reconsider how you take care of yourself. This is the source of stomach aches for Capricorns, Capricorn risings, by the way. And what you have to do is just innovate the way you respond to yourself emotionally. Neptune is that self-compassion with the thoughts, and Pluto in your sign says the old ego is dead, the old identity is dead, the old wars are dead. You must move forward and build character from this point on. So, that said, when the moon is on Taurus, you're going to feel very sunny and childlike on Sunday. Emotions will be there. You'll want to play. You'll want to take action. This is the point where you'll really feel like throwing the football for your career and aiming for what you're going for. And in a way, you're spiritually going for it on Sunday, even though business may open on Monday. And business does open with Mercury retrograde. The moon moves into Gemini. This pulls emotions into the moment, makes things kind of heavy. So you are hyper aware on Monday as Mercury retrograde. Don't forget to be self-compassionate in your thoughts. On Tuesday, there is a real test of everything. You may not hear back from the boss, or you might have pitched something, or you might have given notice. But Tuesday is a test of faith. At the same time, the moon in Gemini makes things very heady, makes communication get disjarbled. This will be the day on Tuesday where Mercury retrograde is really apparent, like computers aren't working and stuff like that, because emotion is mixing with electricity. And so Tuesday for you is about not wavering, staying on the course, being there emotionally for yourself till the end in the career, scoring the touchdown, yada, yada, yada. I can go on and on. Then on Wednesday, we shift down the rabbit hole. Wednesday will feel very weird. Still, the moon will be in Gemini, and so emotions will be hyper aware in your body and in your lifestyle and your workplace. If you're doing career change, you'll feel very weird in the workplace on Wednesday. But you're going to be beginning now the transit of your social identity and where you feel like you belong or don't belong. And the moon now shifts into Cancer sometime in that 24-hour period, and now it moves to your own relationship to yourself. So as you're beginning your transit in society, you're very sensitive about you, and that's your marriage, and that's what Jupiter in Cancer has been working on, from marriage to marriage to long-term strategy. So be advised that as you are feeling out where you are in society, you're oversensitive with yourself, FYI. On Thursday, though, things get better. The moon is in mid-Cancer. I think it's more strategic. It's business. You're shaking hands and kissing babies. And the sun is ruling the day in its own natural sense. So there's a real vibration of love on Thursday. On Friday, though, things get showery again. And this is when the moon crosses Chiron, then Black Lilith, or Black Lilith, then Chiron. Excuse me, Black Lilith, then Jupiter. Oh, I got my planets all mixed up. I guess I can blame Mercury now, can I? I think I can. So basically it crosses Black Lilith, the spinning asteroid, and then Jupiter, which is like a 1-2 punch of really having to, it's almost like your first date after a divorce, that kind of thing, where you're just going to have to really be strong for yourself in the face of potential, and then the whole experience will make you grow emotionally about marriage and partnership. So that's a good analogy I think I just came up with. And that's Friday. So you might get really emotional with yourself on Friday and want to break down, or it all may play out with a friend. And so, you have to be there, with a friend in that way. But either way, Friday is the hardest day, and Tuesday is the second hardest day in my opinion. Then Saturday, the sun comes back out, the stars come back out, it's all great again, Jupiter rules the day. It's a good day for a date, actually, if you are going down that path. But then by Saturday night, you'll be very private and feel maybe even vulnerable. And that leads me to a sneak peek at next week, which is Sunday is a breakdown. So on Sunday the 27th, breakdown. Some people will be doing Halloween parties on that weekend. I'm telling everyone to be very careful Saturday night with your driving and don't drink and that sort of thing. Sunday and Monday, breakdowns and showers for you predicted, and it could be a social faux pas, something in society where you get caught up in politics. And really the whole week is kind of cloudy. You'll notice there's a solar eclipse on the 3rd, and that's a huge investment from the universe. We'll talk more on that for your happiness. We'll talk more on that later. But we've got to grab a prayer shoot now and dive down to earth. I'm going to meet you in Witecki Theater, where I have the final piece of your Libra Series Joy Toy after this, Captain.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please put on your prayer chute and prepare for jump.
It's Mercury retrograde. That means it's time for our soulmart.me Mercury Retrograde sale. Like a 1-hour reading with Christopher Witecki, normally $159, retrogrades back to $95.10. Or try a 15-minute psychic look reading with Zen Shoemaker. She retrogrades down to $45 for a 15-minute reading. Or try the Act 3 Orbits Report. And the Jupiter Gets Emotional retrogrades the same to 1111. At soulmart.me, mind, body, and soul improvement. Hello, my captains, and welcome back to Now Witecki Theater, my cool environment where we hang out at soulgarden.tv if you ever watch TV with us. And this is your serious joy toy, my little present to you, something to play with in your head like a toy. And it's something for your imagination to come out and play with. So we've been pretending all this week that you are going to get a business fully funded, all this month, a business fully funded for your inner child. And I said last week, write the business plan for your inner child, the serious joy of business, right? Where you're having fun every step of the way. This week, I want you to pretend from Sunday through Wednesday that you're going public. And remember, when you're going public, you got to keep stock high. Right? So I want you, Capricorn and Capricorn Rising, to keep stock high and to go public till Wednesday. At that point, you can break and not worry about it affecting your prices. Okay? That's your Serious Joy Toy. I love you. Have a good 7 days. I'll see you in 7 more. And maybe try a retrograde reading in the retrograde. These are kind of fascinating. Until then, live, love, be. The gift, right? So it's like, even if it's something ugly, it's like, oh, thank you, thanks. We did all the pictures for them. It's on their Facebook in 30 seconds. People are already posting and responding to you on your hip. Oh, shit!